to my weekly spiel. Welcome to my weekly spiel. Yada yada blah blah blah. Yada yada blah blah blah. It's time for Margaret's weekly spiel. Greetings and salutations. This is Margaret Franklin of Margaret Franklin Creations, welcoming you to today's weekly spiel. As you can see, some very exciting things are happening. I am in the process of getting an order to make a very special quilt with 45 exquisite carousel animals from a customer's collection. I have printed off the pictures that I'm using so far, and I have named them all alphabetically to get them to keep track of them. So the ones that haven't been painted or repainted or restored yet, I put them to the later in the alphabet, and I will get around to doing them when I've finished all these. Anyway, I shall show you, hang on, out in my dining room I have all the, I use a record cover to tear the strips of fabric in a perfect 12 by 12 square. I have 42 of them here. And I will show you what else I have been working on while I'm waiting for my ship to come in. I don't have all my ducks in a row yet, but at least they're in one place. Predict which will come first. Passport funding, my pay for the lighthouse quilt, which is packed away in a bag for now, so I can't show it to you just yet at the moment, and my payment for this project I'm working on. Which of these three do you think will come first? This is my Mickey Mouse quilt. I have completed 3 squares so far. I'm working on this one, and I shall just sit down and talk to you some more now. Today is the day that Mary Cronert has her big meeting about what's the future of the living room studio. Community art studio, that is. I hope that we get another studio downtown. I have been brewing up an idea in my mind that it would be nice if people who use the living room, maybe we can put together a big variety show at Christmas time at the Regent or wherever, and that would help raise funds for the studio. We'd get together and do skits and songs, things that the audience can participate in. We can put together costumes and props from upcycled items. I picture myself emceeing the show in this hat and this shawl that I bought in Fenelon Falls, as my alter ego is Sergeant Glitter. I don't know if I need any makeup or not, but the concept of an alter ego has always captured my imagination. You know, Clark Kent is Superman, Bruce Wayne is Batman, Jerrica is Jem, the 3 members of Kideo, John Persichini, Bob McAlpine, and Billy Arbor are PJ, Ace, and Buddy, or they were back in the 90s. Now 2 out of 3 perform for Chicago tribute bands, and Buddy, or Bill, has a rather successful business in Hawaii. He's living the dream, lucky duck. Oh, and I really like the idea of putting together a variety show, and maybe everyone in the audience will get a whoopee cushion to sit on, and we'll do a countdown. Not necessarily New Year's Eve, but whatever. But I think it'll be a really fun show. Lots of colorful skits and songs, and like songs people can sing along with that everyone knows. Like this one, for example. I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can hear all the obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. I think I can make it now, the pain is gone. All of the bad feelings are disappeared. Here is my rainbow I've been praying for. It's gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. Look all around, nothing but blue skies. Look straight ahead, nothing but blue skies. I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I can see all obstacles in my way. Gone are the dark clouds that had me blind. Gonna be a bright, bright, sunshiny day. And I was thinking about how we could make props out of everyday objects. I was remembering when I was a kid, my Aunt Jean and Uncle Alec had one of those basket chairs, and it was like the cushion came out, and I used to like to take the cushion out and put it on my head and pretend I was a mushroom, or get down on all fours and put it on my back to be a turtle. There was a mushroom, a sad little mushroom. He lived in a meadow that was ready to cry. Said the sad little mushroom who lived in the meadow, "Why does nobody love me? I'm such a fun guy." If you have a little secret and you don't think it can last, simply tell it to a turtle and it won't get around very fast. Tell it to a turtle, tell it to a turtle, tell it to a turtle, and it won't get around very fast. When I'm loaderizing these videos, they ask me whether or not this is for kids. It's for kids, but I always say no nowadays, because when I say it is for kids, it takes longer to loaderize. I think they're sifting through trying to find out if there's any copyright infringements or any of that sort of thing. So, and besides, you never know when I might let the odd F-bomb or whatnot slip out. Anyway, a lot of exciting things are happening. I've been reading the book, The Secret. I don't believe everything that's in it. Ew, is that wasp inside or outside? I think he's outside the window. Good. Dave does not like wasps or bees, and he definitely doesn't want them in the house. He is at the bank, and once he comes home, we live here for another month. That is all I can think of for now. I got sidetracked. I was talking about the sidetrack of alter egos. When I was back in my rock star days, when Dave saw me on City TV, I had a blue wig and I had a modified Kiss makeup with a blue star around my eye. Yeah, I know it. I look like a cross between Kiss and Kidyo. And I was known by my nickname. Only a few close friends call me Rhett. I like to spell it with an apostrophe, R-E-T. Last syllable of Margaret. Rhett ordered a za with shrooms. Margaret ordered a pizza with mushrooms. And that was my stage name when Jeanette and I had our duo. I was Rhett and she was JT. You may have seen our Magic Carousel music video, our first and only that we ever did. Sometimes I think I'd like to get back into my music. In due time, for the last several years, I've just been, that part of my brain just hasn't worked the same. Oh, thinking about how people's brains work, I had a revelation about when I was living in Peterborough with, I almost said Sabrina, what's her name, Suzanne? We went out dancing at this, I was 19, went out dancing at this country western bar, and there was this one guy who had great difficulty moving and talking. I automatically assumed that he was drunk, but later on Suzanne told me he had a disability that made it difficult for him to move and talk. And I'm thinking, what if one of the reasons everyone is so mean to Jan here in Oshawa is they don't take time to read the sign. They see the way she moves and talks and automatically assume she's drunk. She is not. Her brain just makes it, talking and moving, difficult for her. She is not drunk. And I think that is a worthwhile insight. And we're talking about bars. Oh yeah, back to the topic of alter egos. back when I lived in Lindsay, I used to wear an assortment of various wigs and assorted Gem and the Holograms inspired get-ups when I'd go out dancing, because if a guy started getting fresh with me, I could sneak out and he wouldn't recognize me out on the streets the next day without my wigs and makeup and outlandish get-ups. Anyway, good things are happening. The tide is on its way back, like it says on my tattoo. Bye-bye. Be back soon. Thanks for watching Weekly Spiel.